All right, I'm Rich Foley, and you're here at the Newlab Michigan Central studio. We're sitting today with Mayor Mike Duggan. Thank you so much, first of all, for joining us today.
Yeah, it's great to be over here.
Yeah, we're here at the Recess 23 conference. That's the Resilience and Equity in the Clean Energy Sector Summit. You were a speaker just now. Can you tell me a little bit about your conversation today and the role in Detroit decarbonization of energy and equity?
Well, you know, the change I saw just pulling up here. Normally, when you come here, you come in on 14th Street and park, and today, big signs that it's closed for construction. But it's not any road construction anybody from Michigan's ever seen before. We're putting the in-pavement charging, the wireless charging, into the road on 14th Street. So if you have an electric vehicle and you park it, it'll charge while it's parked, much like the technology on a wireless cell phone charger. And this is the first public road, and here we are in Newlab, where lots of mobility innovators are locating, but this is the kind of environment we're trying to create where you can come up with your invention and try them out on the street right outside your building.
Yeah, it's incredible. You're talking about the Electron Road that's being built with the support of MDOT, with the City of Detroit, with Newlab and Michigan Central, all working together to make this amazing new innovation happen right here on our property, so to speak. This is an incredible testing ground for innovation. Can you tell me what that means to some of the efforts that Detroit sees in their decarbonization efforts?
Well, we're looking in a whole lot of ways. Of course, we're in the process of rolling out electric charging stations around the city. Michigan is behind the rest of the country, largely because there are so few Teslas here for reasons we all understand. But given the fact that I have now Factory Zero in the city of Detroit, where they're building the electric Hummers and about to build the electric Escalade IQs, as well as a number of trucks, and of course Ford's moving in that direction, Stellantis moving in that direction. We're going to have to go there. But our biggest decarbonization initiative is we're committed to move all the city's municipal buildings off of traditional energy into renewable energy over the next few years. And that requires basically 250 acres of solar fields in order to power all city buildings. And right now our biggest initiative is on November 1st, the neighborhoods have a deadline where if you want a solar field in your neighborhood, the application has to be in, and depending on the applications we get, I'm hoping that we can build all 250 acres in the city.
Yeah, you've been very vocal about wanting all those solar fields here inside city limits. You didn't know when you announced this whether that would be the case or not. What are you seeing in the application so far?
So we got 5 or 6 in already. I will know more tomorrow. So I know that we're going to get several. And in 2015, Detroit built its first solar field at O'Shea Park at 96 and Greenfield. It's a 10-acre site built in partnership with DTE and Walker Miller Energy. I went and sat with that neighborhood this summer to say, okay, let's talk about what we did right and wrong in 2015 in the first 10 acres before we roll it out to another 250. I was really pleased that the very first neighborhood that applied for an expansion of solar fields was the O'Shea neighborhood. The people who have been living next to the solar field for the last 8 years are very excited, particularly about the community benefits. We're paying $25,000 an acre in community benefits, which is going to allow the neighbors to put in new furnaces, get energy efficient windows, upgrade their homes, maybe potentially put solar power in their own homes. And the neighborhoods are coming forward saying, yes, we want to remove the blight and have solar fields in the middle, but we also want the neighbors who stayed to get money to upgrade their homes so that they can feel good about being in the neighborhood long term.
Yeah, that's a really important part of this conference today, too. The idea of equity as we start to move forward and decarbonize the city and in the state and beyond, to find a way to make sure that everyone can ride with that everyone has an opportunity to take advantage of those benefits. There's a lot of things happening in the city of Detroit. How important, though, is that to your decision-making and some of the policies that are being put in place?
Well, you have a whole lot of neighborhoods in this city that have come back a long way. You've also got neighborhoods who feel like they've been left behind and they're forgotten. And it's largely these neighborhoods that have, a house every a block or two, and the people who live nearby who have had to watch the constant illegal dumping. And so we ran the math. And basically, we are paying DTE about $9 million a year in electric bills to power our building. And we could convert to solar at about the same cost because of President Biden's Inflation Reduction Act that gives us a 30% break on the cost. But we said if we want to do benefits to the adjoining neighbors who stayed, we don't have to pay $9 million. It's going to cost us $11 million a year long term. And is it worth it for us as a city to pay a couple of $1 million a year extra to go to renewable power and to strengthen all of those neighborhoods that have been forgotten for so long? That's the question City Council is going to have to decide in the coming months. But I feel very strongly that the neighborhoods that have been forgotten deserve this kind of extra investment.
Yeah, it's exciting. And then you have partners, people like Carla Walker-Miller, who's one of the sponsors of this conference. Can you talk about your relationship with Carla and the importance of businesses like Walker-Miller Energy to the city of Detroit?
Well, Carla Walker-Miller has been a visionary in this field, but when I talk about the O'Shea Park in 2015, DTE hired Walker-Miller to do enhancements to the surrounding neighborhoods. And when you talk to the folks who live there, the new furnaces and the energy efficient work that Walker-Miller Energy did at the time the solar field came in was their most positive experience. It really was what we modeled this entire community benefit proposal off of, and she's been a thought leader, and she's actually a partner with one of the neighborhoods, because I've got solar power nonprofits and activist groups partnered in each neighborhood, helped design their own plan, and Walker-Miller Energy is one of the partners, one of the neighbors, saying this is the kind of community benefit program we want in our neighborhood.
Yeah, incredible. Last question for you. The role of Newlab in Michigan Central to this larger innovation plan that you have, and the fact that this is sort of that embodied. Can you talk a little bit about the relationship to the city that you see Michigan Central has, how Newlab's playing into that as well?
Well, Newlab, they came to us and said, we want a transportation innovation zone. And we want an area where we can try out new technologies. And when you try and put them into a government bureaucracy, it doesn't really work. And so City Council passed a transportation innovation zone, that these new technologies can be tried out here with a review for safety, but at quick approvals. And what that's doing is allowing Newlab to recruit companies from around the country to say, come on in and try your innovation here. You can get it approved faster in Detroit than any place else. And it's really, this is the Center for Innovation for Mobility in the United States right now.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. Mayor Duggan, thank you so much for joining us today and for being here at Recess 23. It's great to have you in the building.
Thanks for having me, Rich.
Thank you.